Good morning, everybody. You know what day it is. It's hump day. Mike. So, back at my favorite waterfall in the sunshine. Happy summer solstice. My buddy Rue up on at Stonehenge had his ceremony last night. I love this time of year. Long days. It's warm. This is just awesome. So, my buddy Mark McIntyre, when I talked about the story with the building, he talked about an identity shift. And there's nothing more powerful than your identity. We will not do anything that is inconsistent with our identity. And we can change our identity. So our identity can be one thing, and then we can shift it and make it something totally different. And that's what I did when the building happened. Prior to that, my identity was, and quite frankly, my family's identity was, that everything social that we did revolved around alcohol. Certainly for me, if I was doing anything social, alcohol had to be involved. Holidays, birthdays, didn't matter. Alcohol was part of it, or it wasn't social. That was just the deal. Irish, not surprising. What really surprised me when I shifted my identity was how quickly it happened for everybody around me. So first of all, when I shifted my identity, how did I do it? Well, I decided. I made an absolute decision. And you know when you really make a decision. Decision comes from the Latin incision. We've talked about this. It means cut off. It means there's no other options. You remember a time in your life when you've made a real decision. It's easy to remember the ones where you made a decision about something bad. How many of us stayed in a relationship way too long, and finally one day we said, that's it, never again, no more, it's over, and the relationship was done. And no matter what the outcome of that was, no matter what the consequences were of that decision, it didn't matter. That decision was your decision, and the relationship was over. That's a true decision. You're not going back. When somebody really decides to quit an addiction, it becomes effortless. If you've ever quit smoking and truly quit, you understand what I'm talking about here too, because once you quit, you were done. You may in fact have had there still felt some of the physical addiction, but you were never going back, and you're not tempted. And in fact, now you're repulsed by cigarettes. And it didn't take very long for it to happen. So I made a decision that I was no longer going to drink, and I was going to be incredibly healthy. 30-day juice fast, all that stuff. For me, once I made that decision, that part was effortless. Not drinking, the juice fast, that was effortless. What really surprised me was how quickly it happened for those around me. It was only a matter of a couple of months, and I was seeing my dad at the country club on a Wednesday night, and somebody said, hey, Tim, let me buy you a drink. And somebody else from across the bar said, no, Tim doesn't drink. He's not a drinker. My identity had changed. I became the person that said to everybody, hey, do you want to drink? No, I don't drink. I'm not that type of person. And you've seen the same thing if you quit smoking. Somebody offer you a cigarette, you don't say, what brand of cigarette? You go, no, I don't smoke. You don't just say no. You are compelled to say, I'm not that type of person. I'm not a smoker. That's a true decision, and that's a true identity shift. And the cool thing is, once you do that, you're going to have so much certainty that everybody else is going to see you in the different way too. And it'll happen almost immediately. 90 days at the longest, but it'll take a lot less. Most of the time, couple of weeks, 30 days, and your identity is completely shifted, and people will see that, and then they will say, no, now they're this type of person. And the old person will be dead. The old person will be gone. That identity shift will change every aspect of your life, because now you're not going to do anything that is inconsistent with that particular identity. So if you really want to change your life, change your identity. Become a different person. Incantations are great for this. But making a decision is what really changes it and what really does it. And there is an element of fake it till you make it. That's part of this and can be part of this. That's why incantations are so powerful. I'm wealthy, I'm strong, I'm vibrant. As you keep saying those things, you'll change your identity. That's what the Marine Corps does. That's what the military does. I'm a lean, mean fighting machine, as John Candy said in Stripes. They had them incant all those things because that becomes their new identity. When you do it with physical movement, it becomes wired in your body and becomes your new identity. So, change your identity, you're going to change your life because it's going to create a whole new system of actions that's going to, sow a thought, reap an action, sow an action, reap a habit, sow a habit, reap a character, sow a character, reap a destiny. Well, what you're really doing is changing your character, and it's going to impact all the rest of the stuff. Happy hump day, everybody. Happy spring, summer solstice. Thank you so much for watching. Kathy, great to see you. My Uncle Bill, great to see you. And Christina, great to see you too. I still have the rock that you gave me, dear. Thank you so much for everything. I'm honored when everybody watches. Brandon, great to see you too, my brother. Have a great day. We're all in this together. Let's